Hi, everybody. This is Professor Tom Lipscomb here, the Director of Innovation and Technology at Bennett College. And at the time I'm putting this video together, we are at a time of great challenge here at Bennett College, and a transition is taking place. The students have been asked to leave campus this week so that they can get themselves to a place where they'll be safer in dealing with the coronavirus. And as a faculty here, we're developing a remote access system for delivering our classes to the students. So the object is to keep them safe, but also not sacrifice any of the learning that's been going on in the face-to-face environment. And what we want to do is today create some virtual classroom spaces so that we can work with the students even when they're not on campus. And this is a little bit different than developing an online class or online program, because you'd see much more of a variation of class activities and much more of an intentional development. This is something that we're doing in terms of putting a virtual classroom together where it has to be done in a hurry, and it's going to more approximate the things that the faculty members were already doing with their classes. So I want to take you right now to Zoom. And Zoom is something we've found to be a great platform in dealing with some of the challenges that we're facing this week. So I want to take you through the steps of creating a virtual classroom in Zoom and how to get the students into that class in the easiest way. And I'm going to be using some of the tools we have here at Bennett College, but those of you using different learning management systems can imagine how you can do that same thing in your setting. So the very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Zoom's homepage, and I've already signed up for this, but this is the place where you would sign up. So what I'm going to do now is go to my account, and on the left side, here is where the main action happens in this column, and you see meetings. So upcoming, previous, personal meetings. I'm going to deal with how we create a new meeting. This is an area, though, where your older meetings can be saved and archived so that you can get at them later. So if I hit schedule a new meeting, I would like to call the topic of this JM 364, which is a script writing and production class, and it meets once a week every Wednesday. So if I hit this calendar, it's going to start this Wednesday, and it's going to be at 6 o'clock is when the class starts. Now, this is a really important part down here. To keep yourself from doing multiple meeting setups, you're going to click recurring meeting. And in this case, the meeting will recur every week. It's a weekly meeting. Now, if I was running a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday class, I could do it like this. But in fact, my class is once a week. And we're going to take the end of the class to May 1st. So let me just go ahead and add May 6th, just in case. And then I can always go back and add or delete meetings as I need to. And now, require meeting password means that if you want to keep an extra layer of security, you can have the students put in a code when they get in. I'm going to eliminate this because they're going to get a unique link that's going to get them into the class, and I don't want to create an extra barrier. So what I want to do now is looking at some of these options. This would mean that the students could get there before the professor. And in my situation, this would be fine because it would be just the same thing as a classroom where students come in and talk a little bit before the professor gets there. So in this case, I think that's okay. You could have people muted upon entry. This might depend on the number of people that you have in a particular Zoom conference, because there's a lot of shuffling around and stuff that takes place when everybody has their mic on. In this particular class, it's a small number of people, so I'm going to leave this function not checked, and then I can kind of start talking to them right when they get there. A waiting room is a particular situation where people will sort of stack up, and then you can add them as they come in to the line or the queue, so to speak. I'm going to leave that off, and I'm going to not record the meeting automatically on my local computer. I'm going to do that manually. And then at the bottom, I can save. So I've got everything filled out that I need to. And audio, telephone, computer audio, both. I've selected both. But I'm really have this set up primarily to deal with students on computers and cell phones. If they are on cell phones, remind them to download the Zoom app, and that will help them to get in here under the cell phone if they can't get to a computer. Now, a computer is an optimum way to deal with that because there's more screen sharing functions that they can do. So I'm going to hit save, and here it is. So how do I get this information to them? So one thing I'm going to copy right here is this code. This is the key, this link. And I want to just show you how we're going to get that link to the students easily so that they can then be ready to go into classes. Our learning management system here is twofold. We have Moodle, which some classes run in the Moodle system. As you see here, my class is organized by week. And what I'm going to do now is I'm heading to this current week, and I have a place for them to mark themselves on-time attendance, late attendance. I have things that they can watch before they get into class. I have some forums, and I have a place for them to turn things in. But what this classroom needs now that we are meeting in a virtual space is I'm going to add the activity of a URL link. And this is going to give me the ability to create a Zoom class. And I'm going to put the URL here. And then I'm going to save and return to the course. And if I go back down here, this is the first thing I want them to do. And I have these things sort of stacked in order of how I want them to deal with that. So when they click this link, it's going to send them in, and it's going to launch the meeting. Now, I'm using the Google Chrome platform, and I'm going to find that easier as a way to do things than the Safari platform. I found Google Chrome works a little bit better. So now what I want to do is switch over here for a second. And now I am in what's called Bellnet, which is a Genzabar platform. And faculty here at Bennett College use that. And in Bellnet or Genzabar, what I'm going to do is go over here to bookmarks, and I'm going to add a bookmark, and I can call my bookmark Zoom class. And I could put even instructions right here if I wanted to about signing up. So that looks about right, and I'm going to save that. Okay, and then if I go back into this class, I can go into email, and this is also another way that you can get out that information to people. So I can go here, and I can send an email out to everyone or selected people with this link. And this function will let me send an email to everyone if I would like. Okay, and I want to show you one other thing. So that's a way to get people all that info quick. I want to show you one other thing. So if you want to, you can copy this invitation And this is a meeting link that you can also send to people that has more instructions. And what I'm going to choose to do is I'm going to just send them simply this link. Once the meeting is recorded, then you have the ability to store it and get it to the students who couldn't make the Zoom session for some reason. You also have the ability to go through other programs and put questions and things to quiz the students on major course concepts. But this is about where I want to end this particular lesson, and I want to thank you for joining me. Now, if you have any questions, you can contact me at tlipscomb@bennett.edu, and I hope that the experience that we get doing this Zoom conferencing will be something that we can use not only in a time of crisis, but it can be a tool in the future when other things come up that require us to create a virtual space for our students.